Welcome to the Inspiring You Show. If we haven't met, I'm Henry. Hello, my friends. So, this is a mindful chat about mindful support and resources for navigating natural disasters wherever you are in the world. Specifically, I'm also talking about the fires in Los Angeles and beyond. So, my friends, I am going to specifically talk about Los Angeles, but I know that anywhere in the world, somebody could be experiencing something that's really challenging. So, in this time of immense challenge, as wildfires have impacted just our beloved Los Angeles region, this is where I've lived for actually much longer than I lived in Massachusetts. I just want to take a moment just to extend deepest compassion and heartfelt support to everyone affected. Whether you have faced evacuation or at risk or navigating the emotional toll of uncertainty, please know that just holding a space for your experience and bringing compassion and sending Reiki if you wish to receive for the highest good. And also just recognizing the profound emotional and physical toll that such events can impose, and want you to know that I am standing with you, recognizing that not only there can be individual, but also collective heaviness that can arise. Even for those who are witnessing this crisis from afar, I have heard from people around the world, and so know that even though we may be at a distance from each other, energetically, we are all connected. And the unfolding events can stir emotions of fear, helplessness, trauma, grief. And in moments like these, our shared humanity and unity become profound sources of strength and healing. So just acknowledging that, those outside the greater Los Angeles area, you may also be having your own emotional struggles as you witness this crisis unfold. And so to acknowledge everybody in LA and everyone around the world, just offering unwavering support. And regardless of the distance, we are interconnected in this shared experience. And by uniting, we can nurture ourselves and each other through these trying times. And to help navigate the stress and uncertainty, I will be offering additional meditation energy sessions in the coming weeks. These sessions are aimed to provide grounding amidst the chaos, and alongside the regular classes that I do, we'll be sharing resources to help manage the myriad emotions that can arise during the challenging periods. And so, to really nurture also resilience and equanimity, just offering these additional resources to support. And so, I'll say just from my own experience, I've noticed the last couple days that around 2 or 3 PM in the afternoon, I'm having what I'm calling grief crashes, where all of a sudden I feel extremely exhausted. My eyes just feel so heavy, and my head, I feel like I can't even keep my head up, and I just immediately need to go lay down. And I understand from, the last like 7 to 8 years, I've been studying trauma. I've also have certifications in terms of being a grief practitioner as well as trauma informed practitioner. And I know from my own experience of grief that this is the energy of grief, and that grief can be really heavy, and grief can make you feel extremely tired. And so I understand now not to resist it, but to actually listen to what my body needs, because the grief is processing. And so these are the things that I want to talk about, because it can become really confusing about how am I feeling or what's happening to my body. And so we're going to talk about these things, because it's really important. Like, as you move through this experience of lifing, humaning, it is so important to understand how to use tools, because no matter how much you pray and meditate, how many, no matter how much, if you are channeling information, all of that is amazing. But the thing is, though, you also have to understand the practicality of how to utilize the information and tools to support the human to reground, realign. And that's something that my guides have always really stressed the importance of, is really learning to be multidimensional and balancing the bodies and learning to understand how to use tools to support myself to understand what's happening and then process the emotions and also reframe something if it needs something needs to be reframed mentally. And then if I need to reground, realign, allow myself to reconnect, really learning those tools and to nurture then resilience and equanimity, which is then really for me, really important resources and has helped me along my journey because in our humaning experience, things are just going to happen. You're going to have incredible, amazing things. And then things just may happen like natural disasters. And it's not right, wrong, good, or bad. There's an isness. And how you meet these moments tend to be where you are in regard to how are you working with tools, what is your mindset looking like. And something that my guides have always worked with me on is optimism, really having this, growth mentality that I'm here to learn, grow, and evolve and to be curious. And even in like the darkest of times, learning to, to lean into the light and know that, okay, here are some tools that I can use to support and really leaning on then inner strength and resilience and to support myself in moving through it, knowing also that I have my guides with me, helping me. I feel like they're cheerleaders to my human, cheerleading my human, like, you can do this, human, you can do this, and giving me words of hope and love and care. But ultimately, you have free will, and it's really up to your human, what you do with your experience here. And so that's really what I want to encourage you on is really leaning into practices and understanding that there's different types of tools to support you. So for me, I've been doing a lot of energy work, Reiki and dowsing sessions to support myself. I've been doing chanting meditations. I've also been doing breath work and regrounding work when I feel like I really need it. And so there's other things that I do as well. And so that supports me. And even though, like I said, I have the ability, I connect to my guides, I'm able to make myself a clear channel. We're living though in a human experience in a physical world. And so things happen and it's not, good, bad, in between. It's not right or wrong. It's there's an isness and really understanding that no matter what is going on and unfolding, how are you meeting the moment? Are you able to meet the moment with more mindfulness? Are you able to meet the moment with more compassion? Are you able to support managing and processing your emotions and your thought process? Are you able to shift? How are you supporting your human? And so we're going to be talking about more meditation and just other resources for managing and processing emotions, cultivating equanimity and mindfulness. And with that, that means then learning to really, what does grounding yourself in uncertain, like when things feel uncertain, how do you ground yourself even when things feel super chaotic? How are you able to use the tools? And then also, really processing, releasing, and completing emotions with mindfulness and care, rebuilding inner calm and strength to navigate the days ahead. Also, equanimity meditations, really learning to foster, mindfulness and balance during uncertain times. And with that, with all of this comes then, hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Okay, y'all. Sorry. I'm much, much better, but I'm still having moments of coughing here and there. I also contribute it to just, what we've been through in LA, and I know that the air quality, I've been wearing my mask outside, and I do have air filters inside my house as well. Okay, so we're also gonna be talking about, emotional resilience, where just really building the capacity to bounce back from adversity and handle difficult emotions. Also, different energy techniques where resources for resilience, providing self help techniques to recover more quickly from stressful events. Also, then integrating the mind and body to support using these tools to release trauma and distress, to let go of when it's beneficial and safe of that fight flight response to support you shifting in the nervous system reset. Also, we're going to be doing breath work practices, incorporating intentional breathing exercises that can enhance mental, physical, and spiritual well-being, aiding in stress reduction and emotional regulation. So, again, we'll be doing this alongside the regular sessions that I've been doing. And these resources will focus on balancing emotional energy, fostering clarity, and restoring a sense of connection to the self and the collective field. And then also just really holding a space of compassion for all affected, including those whose stories that may not always be visible. Many residents impacted by these fires were not wealthy or possibly even well insured, but rather hardworking individuals who now face rebuilding their lives from literally the ashes. So loss does not discriminate, and every story deserves care, understanding, and kindness. Any kind of natural disaster, or in this case, wildfires of this magnitude, are often fueled by extraordinary conditions, including in this case, erratic winds. My goodness, they were saying, I think what they were from 70 miles an hour to like 100 miles an hour. They were so incredibly strong, y'all. And then also there's dried vegetation, and there's just an unpredictable convergence of elements. So please be careful in what you are listening to, what you are possibly reposting. Please be careful on not getting caught up in any kind of like conspiracy, which, whatever is, and just know that the main thing is there are people suffering. People people have lost not only their possible livelihoods, but they've also lost homes. They are completely rebuilding their lives. And so that right there, the human component, it's about compassion and understanding that this devastation may feel overwhelming, but it also highlights, though, when you see all of LA coming together, that this extraordinary city that spans out so far, when you see everyone coming together, it highlights the resilience of the communities and people coming together to support one another, and the bravery also of the first responders. I mean, people who also came from around the world to help out. My goodness, when I saw the firefighters from Canada, from Mexico, other places, it's just, you realize, I personally, I've learned a lot more about firefighting in the last couple days, but I personally, I won't pretend to know the ins and out of somebody else's job, but from a production standpoint, because I am a former, television producer, I worked in documentary and reality TV. When I look at the level of what they had to put together as a command center to organize in order to be able to support all these different areas that were on fire. I mean, the magnitude of that, the fact that they were able to coordinate so fast, and that there were so many people that were evacuated safely, and it just highlighting that aspect, and then highlighting the resilience of the communities and the bravery of everyone, including the first responders, and then the importance of just coming together to support one another. We, every generation, every times go through things, and, yes, we're living in modern times where we have a lot of modern conveniences, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to have things that happen. And, we may not have things that maybe our ancestors had, but we have something that's different. And again, it's just the importance of the mindfulness on it and the coming together to support one another, and letting go of judgment or getting caught up in some kind of conspiracy theories that's just going to only add negativity. So really being mindful about your communication, and also checking in. and not letting any kind of judgment override you seeing and having compassion for people suffering, because this devastation is so big and far spread in Los Angeles. And right now, everyone's still moving through the process of being shocked. There's the shock of what they just went through, the surreal experience, and then from there, it's just gonna be processing the loss and grief and the trauma and just what the rebuilding looks like. So, please, if you know anybody in Los Angeles or anywhere around the world that's going through a really difficult traumatic time, lean into compassion and lean into caring, because it can be really hard and challenging, and people need more love and care than ever. So, as we face this challenging chapter, let us remember the power of collective healing and collective healing intention, whether through quiet moments of reflection, sharing resources, or acts of kindness. Every mindful effort helps to restore balance and hope. And please remember, y'all, you're not alone. Wherever you are in the world, we are a community that stands together. We are literally one world here. And we're here to support any of you through this crisis, no matter where you are. So, with that, my friends, much, much love, care, compassion, and light. And let's just do one moment of a Reiki send. So, if you wish to receive Reiki, say, "Yes, I'd like to receive Reiki," and take a nice deep breath, asking that Reiki is sent to you, letting it clear, cleanse, release, rejuvenate, letting the light from the spaces for the highest good. And take another deep breath. All right, my friends. And now, before we go, let's just de-link. So say this after me if it resonates with you. I ask to break the links with this meditation. I ask to break the links with this Reiki, leaving only harmony and balance at other ends. I ask to clear any residual energies being held in my body as a result of these links. I ask the light to fill the void, cells, rejuvenates, refreshes, revitalizes for the highest good with ease and grace and gratitude. And so it is. And so it is, my friends. With that, my friends, take care of yourself. Much, much love.